Hello everybody and welcome to this last in my series of vlogs on Yorkshire waterfalls. This is the fourth video. If you haven't watched the previous videos, please do check them out. I'm sure you'll enjoy them. In this video, really, I've saved the best till last, I would say. There's a couple of waterfalls in here that are really fantastic. Particularly the last one. I will give you a few clues as to where that is and what waterfall it is. See if you can guess where it is. Yeah, but it was worth the wait going to visit that. I've wanted to do it for quite a few years now, and I finally got the chance to go up there and get a couple of shots. It was really tricky, really challenging, the environment, and yeah. But anyway, I'll leave that until later. In addition to that, I've been up to the Northumberland coast. I didn't get any real bangers. I mean, it was just too sunny. Height of summer, and it was difficult conditions, but I'll put a couple of shots up now and see what you think. So I'm down to take some photographs of Bamburgh Castle. I've been up since 4:45 this morning, a bit of an early start, and I was hoping to get some bangers and some nice colour in the sky. That didn't really materialise, but I did get a couple of nice shots. There's a bit of colour in the sky. So hopefully, if I did get any nice shots, I'll put them up for you in a moment or two. So yes, the plan is today is to do some coastal photography. Like I say, we've got Bamburgh Castle. In fact, I'll swing round so you can see where I'm at. Hopefully you can see the castle in the background there. It's a bit windy. Yeah, hopefully you can see the castle in the background there. And I've already took a couple of shots. I was getting about a half a second at f/16 or f/18 in that region. ISO 100. Yeah, just pretty straightforward shots really from quite a distance from the castle. And yeah, the tide is coming in quite quickly now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move on to my next location. So there you go then. Without further ado, why not let's jump into the video. Please don't skip ahead. Try to stick with it, and yeah, let's go. This waterfall really inspired me. Well, it kind of got us hooked on waterfalls really. It's a fantastic waterfall, and when you first see it, it's quite wow, what a waterfall it really is. It's got that wow factor to it. It's up from the village of Askrigg, which is just down the river there. I've photographed this probably 10 or 11 times in different conditions, and I will come on to different conditions in a bit. I do want to talk a little bit about that because it does affect waterfall photography. I've said in the past videos that the wind can really make a difference, and it's a bit of a pain in the neck, particularly when it's very windy. I'm quite lucky in the sense that here I'm in a bit of a valley, but further up the hill there, it's really windy, and the trees, I probably wouldn't be able to get a long exposure here. In terms of camera setup, I'm on ISO 100. I've got an aperture of f16, and I'm getting about 15-second exposure. I've also got the polarizer fitted to the front. At the top or the head of the waterfall, there is quite a lot of light spilling onto the CCD. It's quite burnt out, so I'm just wondering if I should wait a little bit longer until the sun moves slightly in position, and that should cure that problem. I could take different bracketed exposures, but I just want to stick to one exposure. The other thing is, there is a tree that's, like I say, shaking around with the wind, but I've just got to wait for the right time for that to stop, and then I'll get a shot of it. So I'm glad I bought my wellies, because the shot I'm after, I don't know if, well, I'll put up one shot for you now. You can see that there's a bit of a autumnal leaf that's on a rock, stuck to a rock. I think I'm going to get a bit closer to that with the wide angle lens and see how that goes. I'm also having a bit of trouble with the white balance. I don't think it's quite right. I've had to tweak it a little bit. One is shadow, one is cloudy, and one is automatic that I've tweaked a little bit. And I think I got there eventually, but I wasn't too sure with the first one. So see which one you prefer, the shadow or the automatic white balance. I tend to like slightly cooler pictures than the warmer tones, but I don't know. Well, I say that, but my Instagram's all like brownie tones. So yeah, see which one you prefer, the first one or the second one. So my camera set up for a long exposure. I'm on an aperture of f11, ISO 200, and I'm going to keep the shutter open for about 5 minutes. The shutter's on bulb, the eyepiece is closed. Let's see what we get. So as I mentioned, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a little bit closer and use that leaf as kind of like a focal point in the foreground, then the midground of the 3 little waterfalls, and then the actual main fall, to see how that works. I'm going to have to switch to my 12 to 24 wide angle, and yeah, I think it might, fingers crossed, it might make quite a nice shot. And it's something different from this location, something I've not tried before getting quite so low, although I have tried it in the winter time when there's icicles and ice around on the floor here. It's funny because this waterfall, you kind of need the right kind of flow. These rocks behind me, you can see, well, I don't know if you can see or not, but they're dripping away. When it's been quite wet weather for a long period of time, they just have like a little stream coming down, or a little fine, I don't even know what you call them, fine drips if you like, and they make for just a nice feature to the left hand side of the frame, as you can see in this shot here. Much the same as in my last vlog at Richmond Waterfall, we've got a problem with the highlights. The highlights are quite strong, and it's proven to be a bit of a pain in the neck trying to get a good shot with all of these highlights on the right hand side of the rock face up the top there. I'm really hoping the sun's going to go in, because I've got quite a few locations to go to yet. And yeah, this is holding me up a little bit, and I want to get another shot before I move on from this composition. I want to get the composition with the leaf. In fact, there's another leaf there now. So yeah, let's just hope that this flaming sun goes in. The summer's great for the weather-wise, but my goodness me, for light, it's so bad. It's so harsh in the sun. I hate the summer for taking photographs. I much prefer other seasons. This blooming waterfall lock is not the easiest, man. Okay, so I'm going to switch the lenses. I want to get the wide angle out and try to get the tripod as low as I can for this shot. Hopefully the sun's going to stay in. The only problem is I've not got a polarizer for my wide angle lens. Okay, so I'm hoping you can hear me okay. I'm quite close to the water. Just in front of me are some leaves, fallen leaves, and there's one on the other side, a couple over there as well, but I'm getting rid of those. I'm just interested in these ones here. I'm not sure if it's going to add anything to the shot, but I'll take one with them in and then I'll get rid of them and take one without and see how that turns out. I've got the 12 to 24 on now. I've upped the ISO because I'm not really getting the shutter speed I'm after. I think too long of an exposure sometimes doesn't work as well. So I've upped the ISO to ISO 400. I'm on an aperture of f/25 on the 12 to 22 Sigma. And I'm getting around about a quarter of a second, which is looking quite nice. I do definitely want a little bit of texture in the water, and I think with a higher shutter speed with this particular waterfall, yes, it works sometimes, but I think in this instance we need a bit of texture. I've just had to tighten up my tripod. I just noticed that it wasn't totally screwed tight, so that's another thing just to be careful of. There's no point doing a long exposure if it's going to be moving around, so just be careful that you've tightened everything up. I think that works quite nice, although the highlights are still burning out a bit, so I'm going to dial in a little bit of exposure compensation to see if it brings it down a little bit. And now the sun's come back out. Honestly. So that's just about perfect. Once this sun goes in, we should be tickety-boo and good for the shot. I am feeling the splashes on my hands, so I'm hoping it's not getting on the front of my lens.
The next location for me to photograph was the stunning Ingleton Waterfalls Trail. There's plenty of spaces for you to park, and you can park at the trailhead just next to the entrance. Much of the trail has been designated a site of special scientific interest by Natural England. The trail is 4.5 miles long, so be prepared for a long walk, and it can have some steep inclines and rough ground beneath your feet. I'd highly recommend that you put aside 3 to 4 hours to totally take in the area and capture some fantastic shots of these lovely waterfalls. I would also make sure you've got good hiking boots, suitable clothing, as the weather can change quickly, as we do know in Yorkshire. I would also say that you should be taking your 24 to 70mm lens and a longer zoom if you have one. The main attraction here seems to be Thornton Force, an impressive waterfall that cascades over a 14-metre drop into the plunge pool below. I headed there and tried to get a shot, but as usual, the weather and the sun was slightly against me. If you would like to visit this location, I would suggest that you go either first thing in the morning or towards the last entry of the day, particularly in the summer holidays where car parking is a lot more difficult and it does get extremely busy over these times. Further information is available on the website, and you can download a brochure with plenty of information, pointers and tips, and a route map that you can take around the loop.
You joined me at the Ingleton Waterfall Trail. Now, I was here probably, goodness me, it must have been about 22 years ago with my wife. It was the first time I'd ever been here, and to be honest, not much has changed. I arrived quite late because I knew it would be crowded otherwise. The sun's been in and out, my nemesis, the sun and the wind. And yeah, at the moment I'm at a waterfall along the trail called Thornton Force. I believe there's 6 waterfalls. It's a distance of around about 4.5 miles, and the elevation to get up the hills up here is around about 170 meters. Like I say, I've been here before, but when I did come the last time, I wasn't really taking many pictures because at that time the sun was burning through the sky as well. It's around about 20 odd degrees off. It's been a bit of a slog getting up here. Nothing like a mountain, but yeah, it's been really warm. There's some people messing around behind the waterfall at the minute, so I'm waiting to get my shot. Hopefully they'll move out the way soon. Trying to get an Instagram shot or whatever she's doing. But yeah, at least it gives you an idea of the scale of the waterfall. It's a huge waterfall, a single drop waterfall. I'll put the height up for you in a moment. And yeah, so let's see what happens. And hopefully the sun will, oh, it's just come by in the clouds, hold on. So I was talking a little bit about seasons, wasn't I, and the weather. Well, as you can see from today, the weather, the sun and the wind are a waterfall person's worst nightmare, I'm telling you. It's shocking. It's so difficult when the sun's blazing. And yeah, my favourite, like for everything else, is definitely autumn. That's the best time for waterfalls, I feel. When you've got loads of different tones and colours, golden colours in the trees. And yeah, just the different seasons. You need different seasons for your landscape photography in general, and different lighting conditions. But certainly when it's windy and when it's sunny for waterfalls, it ain't that good. I can't stand it. And that's why, in terms of photography, I don't do that much really in the summer compared to in the autumn and winter months. So I'm at this location. I have been here only once before actually, and the key to this location is getting the right light at the right time of day. The sun is just over there at the moment, and it gives a really nice modelling effect to the waterfall. But the key thing is the sun needs to be behind the clouds really, or just going behind the clouds. However, what you can do here is, if the sun is out, you can actually use it to your advantage, and I'll show you how in a moment. the first thing I want to do is just show you what I'm seeing. As you can see, I'm on f3.5 at the moment. That clearly is no good, so let's go to around about there. I'm happy with that exposure. I've put the polarizer on. You can see my focusing point. I think that's going to be quite all right there. It's about a third of the way into the picture. And yeah, let's see what we get with that. I'm just going to put this filter on. It's like a mist filter. It just gives it like a kind of dreamy look. So when the sun comes out, this will really help. And it'll just give it like a soft glow almost to the image. So I want to put this on now. That has definitely made a difference. I'll put the picture up for you now so you can see with and without. So with the mist filter included, I really do like it. It's given a really nice look to it. There is still a lot of movement in the trees, so I think I'm going to try for a slightly faster shutter speed. So I might have to go down to f8 and try that. And maybe bump it up to ISO 200. So I've had to keep my lens hood on just for the flare from the sun. It is very bright at the moment, but that looks pretty good to me.
I've arrived at this final location. I'm not going to tell you exactly where I'm going to, but see if you can figure out where my final target is. I'm in the village of Clapham, and the place I'm going is about a 2-hour hike away. It's mostly uphill, but yeah, see if you can figure it out along the way where I'm off to. Cannot wait to get there. I've been dying to photograph this location. Catch you in a bit. My goodness me, it is so warm, honestly. It must be around about 17 degrees, and my goodness, when you're going uphill, it's hard. I'm sweating buckets, honestly. Honest to God, it is so warm. At the moment, when you're going uphill, it's quite difficult. The hill I'm actually going up is called Ingleborough. So do you have any idea where I'm off to? I'll give you another clue. It's higher than 100 feet, this waterfall. That's all you're getting for now. So thankfully I've reached where I need to be. Has anybody figured it out where I'm heading for or where I'm at? I'll turn you around and show you. Gape Gill is probably the most famous cave in the whole of the Yorkshire Dales National Park. The main chamber is 128 metres long, 31 metres high and 25 metres wide, and I've been told that York Minster will fit inside of this chamber. Fellbeck pours over the lip of rock above the main chamber and crashes 100 metres to the floor of the cavern below, draining through to the Ingleborough cave. In 1895, French cave explorer Edward Martel made the first successful descent into Gape Gill. He incredibly did this by rope ladder, and he kept in touch with the surface via field telephone. Absolutely incredible. At this stage, I would just like to pass on my thanks to the fantastic crew down at Gape Gill from the Craven Pothole Club. They were really accommodating and allowed me to take down my camera bag.
So I'm hoping you can hear me okay. I made it down to Gape Gill. Did you guess where I was going to? What a place. 360 feet drop, or around that figure. I'll put that actual figure on screen for you. But my goodness, worth the wait. I've been dying to come here, and what a place. It was so hard to get a proper shutter speed because it's just so dark in here. It's quite difficult underfoot in some places, but yeah, it's really good. The cave itself is quite cold down here, and it's difficult to see where you're going, but there's plenty of lamps around, enough that you can get around the place. Just once your eyes get used to the lights and stuff, it's fine. But my goodness, what a place. So yeah, I want to get a few more shots and then head back up on the winch. Hopefully I'll get some footage. But yeah, wow. What a place to end this vlog.
Your lights, they go the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there you have it then. I do hope that you've enjoyed this vlog. Like I say, this is the fourth. If you've not checked out the other ones, please do go check them out. I'm hoping that you'll enjoy them. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, that would be always appreciated. It does help the channel. Like and subscribe. Any comments or anything you've got to say, then please do that too. I will try my best to answer them. That's all for now. I'm probably going to take a little bit of a break for a couple of weeks as I'm back to work now. And I don't think I'm going to get much time to do some vlogging, but yeah, we'll see. Until the next one then, stay safe. Bye-bye for now.